Chapter 9. Jaymie Lau, former director of Cafe Experience, Go Get 'em Tiger. Jaymie's had a massive influence in the coffee industry through her work as a trainer, leadership coach, and coffee professional. She's served as a leader at iconic coffee places in Los Angeles like Go Get 'em Tiger, G&B Coffee, and Intelligentsia. I had a chance to talk with Jaymie about service, and here are some of her thoughts. Counter service. You have to have a general interest in what's happening behind the bar, looking into the details of what happens, even if you don't know how to make coffee. You need a genuine interest in service, not just the product, because at this point what sets a lot of coffee shops apart is the service. Not to say that coffee or the product doesn't matter as much, but I think everyone in the industry buys coffee from a lot of the same producers. So the way you stand out is you potentially roast it differently or better than another coffee company, or you have exceptional service. Read the room. The part of the job that's really difficult is the human component. It is talking to people, getting people excited about the product, or just talking to people about their day. Once you become an expert at tasting, preparing coffee, and understanding what's happening from beginning to end, then you get to focus on just the service, on just connecting with whoever's around you. A customer or another coworker, to be able to hear someone that you're working with who might need your help or support. Working on a team is like a sport, right? You have to be reading the room and understanding what anyone on the floor, customer or fellow employee, is doing at any given time. Feedback. Displaying openness to receiving feedback carries a lot more weight than what's on the resume. When you listen to someone talk about their past experiences, you can kind of get a sense of, if they were to leave this company, how would they speak about us to their future employers? And is that the kind of person that would do well in this space? It's so important that you, as an employee, can both receive feedback well and dole it out well. And that is something that your people have to be trained to do. It's not that anyone has to be perfect at it, but displaying openness to growing by way of feedback is important. Baristatitude. It is really difficult to find a balanced barista. Someone who loves the details of coffee as much as they love the service aspect. People can be so engrossed in the coffee process they forget about the customer experience. You can tell when someone's only interested in the latte art, in that presentation, and not about how it makes other people feel. They're only interested in how it makes themselves feel, accomplished. And you can feel accomplished in different ways when you're in service, but that latte art can't be the only thing that makes you feel that way. You have to be excited about hospitality. It can't just be coffee and coffee art, because then you run the risk of becoming the stereotype barista, someone who's going to judge, kind of make you feel bad when you walk away. That is a stereotype. Yeah, there's the handlebar mustache attached to it, newsboy caps, the whole 9 yards. But if you could crush on service, you can dress however you want. If you already know how to make a coffee, then you're delivering all the goods. I feel like the industry as a whole has grown towards being more service-focused and not like, look at me, let me tell you the entire story of this farm, which is also important, but is maybe not what the customer is expecting, unless they ask for it, right? Seeing the whole space. At Go Get 'em Tiger, staff are trained to consider the whole store, not just what's inside the store. Any way that a customer can experience the store. If they're walking up to it, is there trash on the sidewalk? Is the music loud enough as to not be annoying, but to draw someone closer to the space? Whatever it is that someone can be interacted with, you have to take that into consideration and know service can extend up to that point. It's not, service begins when you enter my doorway. Service actually begins when you're in my line of vision. And if I'm standing on the patio at the Los Feliz location, and I see you running across the street, or I see you dropping your kid off at the Conservatory of Music, I could be striking up a conversation that allows me to know what you want before you even enter the space. Or maybe you're someone who always comes in after you drop your kid off, and I can holler to my coworkers, hey, start the cappuccino right now. And by the time you get in, it's ready. It's there for you. And that's the kind of service that I love giving. And it's such an easy win for everybody. When the staff sees a reaction from that, it should motivate them to continue to give that sort of service and figure out how can we give that service to everyone. Read the play. Not everyone is going to want that kind of service because some people don't want to be cornered into always having a cappuccino every day. You want to have the ability to pivot to a different drink because maybe it's really hot outside and they want nice tea. It's about being able to read the room, read the play. The spirit of saying yes. You have to find out how you can say yes. In coffee, it can be challenging. If someone were to order a hemp milk latte and your cafe doesn't have hemp milk, obviously you cannot say yes. But you now know what the customer's expectation or need is. If someone's ordering that, clearly they're avoiding dairy, so don't recommend dairy. Let them know what you can do for them. It's not because you don't want to give them the thing that they want, but you literally cannot produce it for them. Try to find ways of saying yes by offering alternatives. Working in the spirit of saying yes is really important to the overall principles of service. Saying yes is one of the most powerful and also scary principles of service, because when open to interpretation, people think that this is meant to not allow employees to have boundaries, but there are actually very clear boundaries. When you say yes, you're communicating what the limitation is and what you can do for them within that framework. That was Jaymie Lau.